Okay, I'm Coach Eccles, Calhoun girls basketball coach, and I've brought Shania Dorsey, senior point guard, Kat, Atha, a senior wing player, and Allie Duke, a senior guard, forward, whatever. These guys all started every game for us last year and the year before, so it's an experienced bunch.
All right, Vince Layson, Calhoun boys head coach. I brought with me McCaden Griffin. He's a senior, small forward, kind of a utility guy, does a little bit of everything for us. I've got Andrew Cochran, shooting guard, three-point specialist, and Jace Johns, also a small forward, utility guy as well, does a little bit of everything. All three of these guys are seniors.
Coach Eccles, you've got, they told me to speak into this, I'm sorry, I'm not, you've got a lot of experience back this year. How have the girls looked so far in the first couple of weeks of practice?
Yes, it's been a good 2 weeks. We've got 4 seniors back that started every game last year, and then a junior, Jalen Moore, who started. So we've got a lot of experience. Of course, Jalen has fortunately been with volleyball, so she hadn't been with us because they had a nice little run. But, yeah, when you've got an experienced bunch like that, you can not quite pick up where you left off, but it's not a lot of install stuff, and you kind of jump right in and get going. So I feel like the last 2 weeks have been very productive for us.
To your players, girls, how does it feel to be back on the court all together again?
It feels very great because this is our last year, so I'm just ready to see how it goes, and I'm excited for what's to come.
It's been good being able to see how far we've grown since our freshman year together. Not only do we have a relationship on the court, but we also have one off the court. So it's just good to be able to come in together our last year and truly enjoy the year together.
I think it's been amazing as well. It's like with it being our last year, I'm just excited to play together and play one more year together.
Coach Layson, on the other hand, you don't have a lot of experience coming back. How has your new players kind of bought in, and how are things going for you and have gone for y'all in the first couple weeks?
Well, the first couple of weeks are in typical Calhoun style. We've got 6 guys between JV and varsity that are not playing in a fall sport, so there's still a lot to be learned on that end of things. We don't have a lot of experience coming back. I will say that I'm looking forward to the guys that are returning. For example, McCaden has started since your sophomore year, in and out a little bit, and Jace as well. So we do have a couple of guys coming back that do have experience, but we're going to be adding some. We had a very good junior varsity group last couple years that a couple of those guys should be stepping up and filling those spots nicely.
To your players, feeling any added pressure, being the leaders on a team that doesn't have a lot of varsity experience?
There's not pressure at all.
Yeah, like McCaden said, no pressure at all. I'm just excited to get out there and play with the boys.
We got a lot of good young players that I think will develop and help us out on the run.
Coach Eccles, what do you want to see from your team going forward here this season?
Well, we want to get better every day going into the season, and one of the things we talked about going from 5A to 3A, or whatever that means, is we kind of have a saying, it takes what it takes. If you're gonna, no matter where you play or who you play, you're going to have to play good, smart basketball, and so that's what we focused on, and we want to get better every day and play smart.
To the players, the same question. What do you want to see from you and your teammates going forward?
Definitely just growth and confidence, growth in the game itself. Just every day putting in the work and executing it into the game.
I think everybody's passionate about our love of the game, but last year we ended earlier than we wanted to, and hopefully this year we can all, we can take that extra step and go further in the playoffs.
I just want to see us get better each and every day so we can go further this year, and yeah.
Coach, same question. What do you want to see from your team going forward?
Well, kind of like Coach Eccles said, going from 5A to 3A is going to be a welcomed adventure for us. Our 4 years in 5A, we played for or won the region championship each year, so we were competitive. However, our seasons didn't go the way we wanted them to go as far as the playoffs. So I think with the new region that we're in, it's going to be very competitive night in and night out. But I expect our guys to, regardless of what region or who we're playing, I expect them to come out and compete at a high level. I anticipate struggles early on because we are missing a lot of guys. But I think as the season progresses, we should be pretty competitive come February.
To the players, the same question. What do you just want to see from your team going forward?
I just want to see consistency and the boys come out with confidence and just compete with anybody.
I just want to see growth throughout the team and throughout the year and just hopefully make a long run.
Play as a team, make the right pass, move the ball, get your open teammate open. And I'm excited about the season, and I think we'll have a good run at it.
Coach Eccles, when you look at your team, what are some of the things you feel like y'all have to do this year to reach the goals you hope to reach?
I think I think they touched on it a little bit. We had it rolling pretty good at the end of the year, and it slipped. So I think mentally knowing there's a fine line to being where you want to be and letting it all get away from you. So I think more than anything, we feel like we've got talent, we've got good chemistry, we've got all those things. It's just keeping our mentality in check day in, day out, and from the beginning of the year all the way until the end.
Do you feel like, and Coach, this is for both of you, do you feel like even though you're in a new region, you are familiar with some of these teams? You played at Dayersville in the past, you played some of these teams. You feel like that'll help you going forward?
We were kind of talking about that on the way up here. We've gone from a region where these guys have played everybody since they were freshmen, in Dalton, Cartersville, and those teams. And we've played some of these teams, but it's going to be different. It's going to be new, which is kind of exciting too. But we'll have our homework cut out for us.
Yeah, I'll say after being at Calhoun for what feels like 100 years now, just getting back and playing some of these guys that were in our region for years on end, natural rivalries as far as distance and things like that. We're looking forward to it.
Coach, I noticed also for both of you, and your players obviously can speak to this, you start a lot earlier this year. It seems like you're starting 2 weeks from tomorrow night, if I'm not mistaken, November 19th. I would imagine between now and then, y'all are anxious kind of for an earlier start for your players?
Well, it's a little bit different for me than the girls' program. That game has been moved to the 18th, by the way, that scrimmage. Yeah, that's going to be on Monday now. Okay. So on the boys' side of things, we'll play that scrimmage with the 6 guys that we have, and we don't play again until December 7th, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So there's a big gap there for us. Now, as far as Coach Eccles and the girls, they'll get to play a little bit quicker. So.
Yeah, I feel bad for Coach. He's got to juggle that. You want those guys to be away as long as possible, but you want them back quick too. But
right.
But we're starting earlier, and I think we practice is earlier than it used to be. So it is what it is. You get that timetable, mark those practices down, and just try to get everything covered.
Coach, how have these 3 looked so far?
They're leaders. You can tell they've been around the block. They know all the drills and everything, and it's good for our young kids to see that, to see how we as a coach we can tell them and tell them the coaching points and this, that, and the other. But when they can look at these guys and see it demonstrated, it makes it a whole lot easier. So for the most part, they make my life easier.
Jace, you'll be a 3-year starter this year. You and McCaden, does that help you take on more of a leadership role? You try to lead by example, be vocal, a little bit of both. How do you handle that? You and McCaden, please.
Yes, sir. I just like to help the younger guys out in practice and try to make them better each and every day.
Same thing that Jay said, just be a leader and lead by example. Even the little things like putting the balls up before practice and after practice, just the little things go a long way. So, yeah.
Coaches, how much do you think that playing at the 5A level, I mean the Cartersville and all the playoff teams that y'all face, how much do you think that will help going into your new regions and the new classification?
Oh, I definitely think as far as the boys' side, I'm sure Coach Eccles will agree. It's definitely, I mean, you are battle tested. There wasn't a game you could just look on your schedule and go, oh, okay, well, we're going to walk in there and win that one just because we're going to show up and win. So I think that just getting the mindset of every game is going to be a battle. And when we were in 5A is definitely going to help us, going into 3A for sure.
Yeah, I think the region we were in the last 2 years sent 3 teams to the Final Four. And, it had to be one of the toughest regions in the state. So, anytime you play, and we try to play a hard schedule, non-region, just to get ready. So anytime you play tough competition, it gets you better. And even having played those the last couple of years, our kids know how to ramp it up at that level and play, hopefully.
I know for both of you, last year it seems like your teams played really well at the end, played really well in the region tournament. I would imagine that once again is a goal this year.
Well, I mean, we say it's not really how you play in November. It's how you play in February and March. So that's it.
Yeah, I'll say for us, it's typical for the boys' side. We always start slow because, like, for example, this year we have 18 players that are currently playing football. And like Coach said, if they do their job out there on the football field, we're probably not going to get them till the end of November, early December. So I expect to be a little sluggish to start. It's unfortunate that we open up pretty much going straight into region play. But I do think, come middle of January, toward the end of January, we should be hitting our stride and playing the way we should. Last year was a struggle for us record-wise. We ended up 10-17, and of those 17 losses, 14 of them came by single digits. So that's one of those things that, if you just a couple extra practices here to address something or, just a little bit of time could completely flip-flop that. And we did finish strong. We played for the region championship and unfortunately lost by 2 in a heartbreaker. So we'd like to get back to that level and avenge ourselves.
Am I allowed to ask if Amari Winston will be playing this year?
You can ask, and as of right now, he is scheduled to early enroll in Texas, so he won't be part of the team.
All right, Coach, how do you I know you can't replace an inside player like that or another 3-year player, but how do you hope to fill in the void?
Yeah, he's definitely going to be tough to replace. He leading scorer, leading rebounder. I think he may have been second in assists. So he's not one that's going to be easily replaced. And I think for us, in the last few years, we've had a very big team, a lot of size. And this year, we don't have a lot of size. So our brand of basketball is going to change a little bit. We'll have to play a little bit more small ball. And on the flip side of things, we do have guys that have some experience. And, we're going to have to change things up, but I'm looking forward to the challenge, and I know they are as well.
Coach, I know both of you had sub-varsity teams that did very well, middle school teams that did very well. Could there be some players on those teams that come along and help both of your programs this year?
Yes, absolutely. On the boys' side of things, our junior varsity team, they were very successful the last couple years. We got a couple guys coming up that should contribute big minutes for us. Jaden Perkins, he should be able to come in and fill the void on the perimeter a little bit. That was, left by Landon Chatham and Daniel Street. Bo Kelly is another one of those guys. Jaden and Bo can both fill it up from beyond the three-point line. Coming up from the middle school, we have Trace Hawkins, who could be potentially one of the better point guards in the whole area as a freshman.
We've got Maury Henderson coming up as a freshman, and she was a starter, a big-time player on the softball team, so she's kind of got that competition, and she could start or she could play big minutes for us, so she will be a huge contributor.
How much does it help the fact that they've played others? I know they haven't played basketball, but they've played other sports already as a varsity player. How much do you feel like that'll help, even though they're young?
Well, I think it helps a lot because she had to carry a big load on that softball team, and it helped her. And even Jayla Moore, talking about her in volleyball, completely different sport, right? But making that long run and kind of learning how to compete and mature competitively. I'm always a big advocate. The more they play, the better off.
Coach, you got a lot. I know you've got more coming back, and these are 3 of your starters. But that 5th spot, has there been a lot of competition for it so far?
Well, we haven't had Jalen at practice yet, so we'll see. But we've got 7 or 8 kids we feel really good about, and they will all play a ton.
Coach, for you with not a lot of experience coming back, how has the competition been among the guys you've got that want to play and see there is a spot for them if they perform?
Well, absolutely. There's, we'll probably carry about 14 guys on our varsity roster this year. And I'd say out of 14 of them have a chance to be in the top 5. So I think top to bottom, we are a solid team. We had a very good summer, competitive. And I think for us, the big thing, like our locker room was so good this summer. So, I look forward to those football guys coming in and competing with the guys who are currently here now. But I think for the most part, it's going to be whoever shows up to practice and earns the spot, because it could be anybody.
I was going to say, could there be a few different starting 5s as the year goes along?
I would think so, especially early on. We'll kind of have to pick and plug people in different spots and kind of see who gels well together on the court and things like that. So it's going to be kind of a learn on the fly thing.
Coach, if you would just sum up your hopes for the season, if you would, for both of you, please.
In a nutshell, I hope to come out and be competitive in the region. I feel like you always have to be, a force within the region before you can be a force within the state. So hopefully we'll come out and finish hopefully first, if not second, in the region, and use that momentum going into the state with the new postseason rankings formula. Hopefully get a good seed, and then who knows what will happen from there.
I'll get Coach Layson to explain that ranking formula to me, because I have no idea how that goes. But our goal is to be in the mix, competitive in the region and region championship. And if you can do that, you got a chance to make a little run in the state tournament.